Where did I leave off? Okay, so I just mentioned my mom. Who does she? You know what? I think that's actually where my fascination with origin of life and aliens, like you guys are blaming it on Joe Rogan, but no, I really it all started with her. And she's my mom is she loves aliens. My uncle my uncle Tiger was a schizophrenic. However, he was highly intelligent. He was an engineer. I think before he had his breakdown, he not only was he mathematically and engineering wise intellectual or smart, he was also like a very philosophical, bit of a philosopher himself. Now, mind you, a lot of it was probably driven by schizophrenia or whatever, but he's a very introspective, insightful guy who he just was a big thinker, and I would hear him, and a lot of it is ravings of a madman at times. Don't get me wrong, but there were some of the stuff would make you think. When I would go over to my mom's house because I lived with my dad and my stepmom growing up, and I'd visit my mom's house every other weekend, and a lot of times on the way back we would stop at my grandpa's house, and my grandpa's lived with my uncle Tig. The two of them lived together. They were, my grandpa was kind of a retired war vet who had kind of bad PTSD and took to drinking, and him and my uncle Tig kind of lived together and took care of each other. Kind of a dysfunctional, toxic relationship, but the two of them took care of each other until my grandpa died. And then my uncle ended up in different various homes and things like that. Lived with my mom at one point, and his illness just got to be too much, and he ended up in homes. But anyway, we'd stop at my grandpa's house, and my grandpa was always, and this is kind of would help form me a little bit about dumb growing up. So I'd go to my grandpa's house with my mom, and when I was a little kid, I was kind of like, I was a little scared to go inside of the house with my grandpa and my uncle because sometimes they'd fight, and sometimes my grandpa was kind of drunk, and he could be mean to my mom sometimes. So it was like sometimes I didn't want to go in, and she'd have to like coax me to go into the house with them. And it wasn't always like that. It was just maybe like the time before I had a bad experience or something like that. So I would, and I was young, I was young where you hear loud voices, you hear any kind of yelling, it makes you uncomfortable. Excuse me, nose is running from being out in the rain today. Um, but so in the time I would go in there with my grandpa's house, I would get a lot of. I would say my grandpa was really into politics. When the news came on, everything stopped. There was no talking. He'd start yelling at you, literally yelling, screaming at you. If you started talking during the news, you'd just be silent, um, which was pretty crazy. And then my uncle and my grandpa, they would have a political discussion, which would then turn into some sort of philosophical discussion. And then my mom would interject, and I'd be sitting on the couch, you little kid, bored to death, but I was a little sponge, and I'm just always absorbing all this stuff that I was hearing. And my mom was also really into aliens too. So that kind of, you guys, maybe that forms why a lot of times I lean to talk a little bit about politics, and sometimes I'll lean to talk about aliens because my mom was a Trekkie. She was really into Star Trek and Spock and like the old one, and then Star Trek, the new next generation with Picard and all that. So I got into all that too. So I was always fascinated with aliens and the origin of life, because Star Trek is all about finding new life and new civilizations and all that kind of stuff. So that stuff always fascinated me. So I think that's a little bit why I kind of lean towards more of what I'm talking about, because it's in the news. First off, it was something that was in the news, and it's just something that kind of is in my mind. Um, Now I mentioned my mom, and I know she's in the chat here, but I would like to say, Mom, I would probably, if I were you, I'd probably not listen to this next story. It's not the greatest memory for you, not the greatest memory for me, but it does. It does kind of match up a little bit with this next story I'm getting ready to tell. So please don't take any offense to it. I love you. You're a wonderful mom. But this was an incident that happened in my life. So I'm probably going to talk about it. But if you don't want to see me talk about it, now would be the time for you to not watch. Having said that, I saw a story that's in the news right now about a woman. And there are a couple. It's about a bar in Texas, and there's a lady in there. And well, it's actually, the video kind of speaks for itself. So I'll just play this video and you guys let me know what you think of it. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. And I'll tell you a little bit more why I have some experience with this kind of situation.
I mean, you're 22, get out.
I'm 27.
And get your baby out of a bar.
We are eating right now. We're just waiting for our bill.
You guys are idiots. Why would you do that? Why would you do this for poor kid?
He's having fun.
No, he's not having fun. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Look your kid out of the bar.
won 9,000.
Get your kid out of the bar.
Jesus.
Jamie, is that your name?
No, it's not.
Get your kid out of the bar. You have a baby in a bar.
She's filming you, and I'm actually gonna call the police.
You're bothering me when you're harassing him.
Yeah, good. Hell
In
yeah.
a bar. In a bar. I'm going to.
Oh, I love it. Awesome. Good for, thank you, Neil Post. Thank you. Good job on that server coming over and getting in the middle of all that. Fuck that fucking lady. Go fuck yourself. Now, how drunk was that fucking bitch? Now, I can understand. You're in a bar. You don't want to hear a fucking crying ass baby. Maybe she's got a baby at home. That's why she's at a bar. She doesn't want to have to hear a fucking baby crying. Totally understand that. On the other hand, who gives a fuck? If that baby wasn't crying, who gives a fuck? Would you even think twice about it? Unless the mom was just getting guzzled drunk. I really don't think it's that big of a deal to have the baby in the bar. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. Oh, by the way, speaking of the phone number, Secret ADS mod clued me into. She'll pop into Reddit every once in a while, and she'll report back some of the just nonsense that she sees in there to me. And apparently, I've ripped off my phone number from Rush Limbaugh. Secret ADS mod told me, and I don't know exactly what it was, if it was a meme that said this or if it was just a picture of Rush Limbaugh punching himself. But apparently I stole the idea for the 844-HIT-DUMB number down there in the corner, the phone number to call into the show. Apparently I stole that from Rush Limbaugh because he had hit himself in the face one time on the air. Just a strange thing. But so no, I didn't get that from Rush Limbaugh, but it's cool that you put me in the same category as him. I'll take that. Thank you. He was a billionaire when he died, I believe. But no, I just came up with that one day because like people have always called into the old show saying how much they didn't like me and they wanted to hit me, and like old show hosts, like the old afternoon host at WMMS, Maxwell, he would say on the air he wanted to punch me in the face all the time. Which was funny because they'd walk past him in the hallway and he'd wave, but that's neither here nor there. The idea for the phone number was people have always said they want to punch me. So I always said, that's where, okay, if you ever wanted to punch me, you can do that. Hit dumb, 844-HIT-DUMB. Get it? Yeah. There you go. But back to my mom in this bar. So this lady, and the reason I say I have some experience with this is because I look at it like this. So like you got a baby at a bar. That was a young baby that you saw. Let's see, go back. You can see the picture. I mean, this isn't a straight up fucking infant. Or not, whoops, wrong button. That's an infant, basically. Maybe not an infant, but yeah, it's still, I'd call that an infant. You know, that kid's maybe 6 months old, something like that. Now again, poor taste to have the baby in the bar. Not the greatest move in the world. But if that lady is calling her, the woman who's the Karen, we'll call her, the Karen is yelling at her for having the baby because the baby's crying and it's disturbing her. not because she's worried about the baby's well-being. Because if she was worried about the baby's well-being, she'd probably just keep her fucking mouth shut because the baby's fine. Yo, 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 what's happening? Welcome to another Dumb Show. I'm another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining me on issue number 190 of another Dumb Show. So good to have you guys here with me. I hope you guys had a great day. I've had a nice day so far. No craziness. It's so nice when I can just have a nice normal day without any drama or nutsness or anything like that. Just a normal day. It's wonderful. Just a good day. I hope you guys had the same thing as well. Hold on, let me fix this thing. It's tugging on my ears here. Pardon me. Don't forget to like tonight's episode if you're watching live. Even if you're not watching live, if you're catching up, please do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up on tonight's video. I'd greatly appreciate if you did that. And if you're not watching live, if you're not in the chat right now, you can go, you can always comment on the show. If you hear us talking about something, I'd love to get your comments. I'll read them on the show the next day. And of course, you can always email the show, anotherdumbshow@gmail.com. And we always love your support. You can join the channel by going to, well, look at that, Scott78 just gifted out 5 Another Dumb Show memberships. Diz got one, Falcor got one, Gabriella got one, Tasha and Knives all were hooked up with free memberships from Scott78. And you too can get yourself a free membership. Just go to youtube.com/anotherdumbshow/allow_gifts, and you can have your gifts turned on, and you might end up with a free membership. But if you want to just go ahead and support the show, you can do that by going to the Another Dumb Show homepage, clicking join, and becoming a member and helping support Another Dumb Show, because we are fan funded after all. So get those super fan donations in, guys. And those of you who would prefer, you can always download Another Dumb Show as an audio-only podcast through the YouTube Music app. It's not on Spotify or iHeart or any of that stuff. It is on the YouTube Music app. And don't forget, you can always follow the show, Instagram, X, Another Dumb Show, all that good stuff. Shout out to the League of Dummies. I know I just mentioned Scott78. Big love to him. Thank you so much, Scott78, for helping support Another Dumb Show. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. B4 was first in the chat today. We always like to give love to the League of Dummies. That's what we call our chat here, the live chat here on Another Dumb Show. Oh, by the way, if you would like to be a participant in the chat, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and then you will be all set, and you can be in the chat within like 10 minutes. So, there you go. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. That is the phone number to call into the show. We were just talking during the recap. I just posted to, I just saw a really funny comment. I'll get to that in a sec. It just popped up, but I didn't see it earlier, but there's a new one that's pretty silly. Let's see here. I played in the recap that story about the woman in the bar who was upset about the baby being in the bar. So she started berating this other mother who brought their baby to a bar. She's screaming at her, calling her, "You're an idiot," and all this stuff. And I'd said, I actually think it really doesn't make a difference. I really don't care. As long as the kid's chill, and you can put a baby, you can go to a bar, put a baby in a little carrier. As long as one of you is sober, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? It's really no big deal to me if there's a baby in a bar. I don't care. If they're crying and out of control, that's a different story, but it doesn't bother me one bit. Especially when we're talking babies here. It's got to be the baby age. We can start getting out of, toddler. That's a different story. They're running around, all that stuff. If you can hold them or put them in an infant carrier, it's fine. Tyler says, to me, it makes a huge difference what time the baby, this is a comment from Tyler. He says, to me, it makes a huge difference on what time of day the baby is in the bar. If it's 5 to 8 p.m. dinner time, that's fine. But if it's late night, prime time, drinking time, that is wrong. And then he says, side note, get some damn tools, my dude. Go to Harbor Freight for cheap household tools. Cannot have your girl bring you a tape measure unless she's getting it from your own toolbox. I know I did lose. I revoked, my man card was revoked when I had to have B1 bring me oh, you know what? I think the phones might not be working, Frank. For Local Frank is trying to call in, and I think the phones, I didn't reset the phone. So let me do that real quick, 2 seconds. But anyway, going back to Tyler's comment, I understand what he's saying, but I don't think he's taking into consideration the baby part of it. Again, there are some bars that are pretty chill. They don't get crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of why you would pick a specific bar. Frank, if you're watching, call back. The phones are reset. Or anybody wants to call, please call. Love to hear from you. But yeah, again, I don't think it really matters if it's not, if it's a rowdy or really loud bar. I understand that. But if it's just a regular old bar where it's kind of chill and people are just having some drinks, like my parents hang out at an Eagles club, and oh, my phone's ringing. My parents hang out at an Eagles club, which is like a moose lodge kind of place, and you could take a baby in that place. There's no smoking there. It doesn't get particularly loud. Sometimes they have a live band. Those would be nights you wouldn't bring a baby, but I don't see why it would be that big of a deal. I understand the optics of it look bad, a baby sitting up on a bar or something, but if you're over like a little high top at a bar and kids sitting there and mom's just having a Coke while dad's having a few beers and wanting some wings and watching a football game, or and some of those Monday Night Football games, they go late, they go way past 8 p.m. So, dad just wants to sit and watch a football game. Babies sleep weird schedules a lot of times, so they might sleep better being out of the house than in that car carrier. It's weird. Mom just sits there rocking that fucking thing. So I understand the optics of it, but kind of like, it's not the end of the world to me. Let's see here. Oh, and going back to that. So then the recap, it didn't show what was going, it didn't get to the part where I told the story about my mom taking me to a bar when I was, 5, 6, 7, something like that. She took me to a bar with her. It was a bad experience. She got drunk, slapped me. It was just an ugly, ugly scene. So I talked to my mom, and I had kind of prefaced the whole thing. I had said to my mom repeatedly, hey, don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up. This is a long time ago, blah, 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 blah. Because I didn't want her to feel bad or like a bad mom or anything like that. And that wasn't my intention telling the story. So after the show, she called me, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. I'm gonna get an earful. And she was very surprised. I was very surprised by her reaction, and I actually was very saddened by what she told me. She said, hearing some of the things that I put you through, I don't know if she said it makes it, I don't know what she kind of put it in the perspective of, I understand what you went through because she went through the same thing. Now, I don't think she's trying to like say, oh, I had it bad, so you had it bad too. No, it was more just like, hey, just so you know, it's kind of learned behavior is what my mom was kind of trying to tell me, I think. And she told me a story. So my mom's parents, my grandma and grandpa, my grandpa was in World War II. He was a war hero. He was in the Battle of Bulge. He created tank maneuvers that they ended up putting in books at West Point and all this kind of stuff. So he's a military hero. Silver Star, Bronze Star, all that stuff. And when he came back from the war, like many people when they come back from war, they had horrible PTSD, and he didn't really know what to do outside of being a soldier, because that's what his whole life was devoted to. And he just kind of came back, and he worked a lot of odd jobs, and he drank a lot, and he became kind of a bad alcoholic, kind of a mean alcoholic at times too. So, and my grandma, who died before I was born, actually, I never met her. My mom, according to my mom, she was a very abusive alcoholic as well, and on top of that, a massive diabetic who I believe had her legs amputated and everything because of her diabetes. So it was learned behavior that my mom saw from her parents. But the reason I'm telling you about that is she told me a story about before my grandma lost her legs. She this would be my this would be my grandma that I never met. And my mom told me a story about a time my grandma got so fucking drunk that she went into a bathroom, she went into a closet thinking it was a bathroom and took a shit all over the closet. My poor mother, and I don't think she explained how old she was, but I don't know, I'm assuming her teens. My mom had to go in, get my grandma out of the closet because somehow, I don't know if she sat down or just got stuck or what, but my mom had to get her out of the closet, take her to the bathroom, get her all cleaned up, wipe all the crap off of her. Then my mom apparently had to go clean the closet after that. So obviously very traumatizing experience. So I definitely felt very bad for my mom that she had to go through all that. I do wish that she had chosen not to repeat some of those mistakes versus, but hey, it is what it is. And I ended up with a pretty crazy situation. Secret ADS Mod says, oh my God, my dad was so drunk one night that he came into my room, opened my closet, and thought it was a bathroom. Did he take a leak in there? I stopped him before he peed, thank God. So there you go. Nut doesn't fall from the tree, apparently, as far as it goes in my family and the alcoholism. But speaking of alcoholism, Four Loco Frank, you're on another dumb show. What's up, dude?
Oh, man. I've been fucked up a lot in my life. I never took a dump in a closet.
Only my grandma, dude.
And you kind of fucking killed my fucking what I was going to say, but did you think about me today?
Did I think about you today?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. No, I did not. Since we've changed your name.
You didn't see the story about how they closed the school down for fart spray?
No. No, I did not see that story. Where
They shut the school down because somebody sprayed fart spray and they shut the school down.
I'm reading the story right here. Oh my God. Here's the headline. Fart spray prank causes evacuation at Kentucky high school. 7 students treated. Treated for what?
I thought you would have thought about me, man.
I didn't
even think about me. Oh,
I did not. I don't know.
Neglected.
I don't know how I missed this story, dude. Man, this is great. A Kentucky high school was evacuated and several students were treated after a student unleashed fart spray on Tuesday, officials said. Police, firefighters, and EMS responded to Oldham County High School in Buckner around 11 a.m. after receiving reports of a, quote, strong gas odor in the building, according to the sheriff's office. Officials escorted everyone out of the school. At least 7 students who reported feeling discomfort were evaluated by EMS. None of them required additional medical attention.
Bunch of pussies.
I know, right? With the fucking bitch asses. It smells like farts. I need to see the doctor. Everyone ended up returning to class everywhere. They determined it was not a gas leak, but the strong smell emanated from a liquid substance a 17-year-old female allegedly poured inside 2 trash cans. The sheriff's office described the substance as a, quote, non-toxic concentrated liquid product commonly advertised online for use in pranks. Oh, that's so funny. School officials referred to it as, quote, fart spray. Oh, dude, thank you for telling me about this story. That's great. So a school was evacuated in Kentucky after a liquid fart spray incident. Oh, that's great. Well, Frank, now it does remind me of you because I know you got in trouble for spraying it on some kid at a mini mart or whatever. Well, this is...
Yeah, we'll go with that.
This kid must be your new hero.
He's my apprentice.
Apprentice, there you go. All right, so the grasshopper, there you go. All right, Frank.
No, see, now I got a challenge for you, Dom, because you never lived up to none of my other challenges.
Well, what are you talking about? I ate those nasty ass Snickers with American cheese on it, didn't I?
Yeah, I guess I'll give you a half one for that. But you didn't eat the sour one.
I keep forgetting.
My name's Four Local.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
My name's Four Local Frank. I never actually got four Locos down. I got 3.5. So I challenge you to get 3.5 Four Locos.
Ooh, I don't believe I've ever
challenge
drank.
you to get four Locos. My challenge is 4.
I don't believe I've ever drank one Four Loco, to tell you the truth.
No, you better start practicing.
I guess so. Isn't that, what is that, malt liquor, Four Loco?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, premium malt beverage. I'm looking at.
Challenge you to four Locos.
Oh my God, they're 13.9% alcohol, dude. Fuck, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not kidding you at all. I'll get on the video. I'll try to get on the video, and I challenge you to 4.
What's your flavor?
The only problem is mine is fruit punch.
Fruit punch, the original Four Loco. So that's 12%. The gold, the Four Loco fruit punch is 12%.
Yeah, but that's not the original. That's not the original.
No, yeah, the original. They cut that out.
Yeah, the original had caffeine and like guano or something. Like
guarana
that,
and all that, carnitine, all that shit, taurine. Did the alcohol percentage go down too?
No, I think the alcohol percentage went up.
They're just
like,
dropped.
Fuck you if you're not going to let us put all this other stuff in that we're going to make it more alcohol.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, get rid of one.
I would do it on video with you, but the problem is like by 7 o'clock, I've already did my drinking, you know?
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, Frank, I will have to consider this prank. I don't know. I honestly, YouTube doesn't like binge drinking. So I don't know if that's something I'd even be able to do. YouTube. Well, I obviously, Frank, I don't do this as a hobby. So if I do a video and it
just pour it in a glass. Just pour it in a glass.
I suppose I could do that too. That's a good idea. I just don't know if I can.
Does YouTube like binge eating?
I actually they do, as long as you're not throwing up. Strangely enough, you can find plenty of fucking mukbang videos out there that make plenty of money. But yeah, it's if you start throwing up, they don't like it.
They don't seem to mind you eating 4 Big Macs or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I know. I don't make the rules here, dude. I just get stuck following them. So, all right, Frank.
So what do you think? What do you think the odds are on the Four Loco challenge?
I'll have to think about it. I've never had one sip of a Four Loco, so I have no idea how it goes down. And I've a feeling it probably goes down like a monster. And those are not easy to drink a lot of times. You can't really chug a monster.
I've never had a monster.
Yeah, if I had to guess, that's probably the same kind of similar taste. I'm thinking maybe a little bit less energy drinky.
Maybe a little bit chalky.
Oh, is Four Loco chalky?
I'm guessing that's the way you might describe it. Chalky, maybe a little bit.
Like Mylanta? Milk of Mylanta?
No, not like that.
That's gross.
No, it's different than beer.
That's gross.
But I've never had wine, so it might be like wine, maybe.
All right. Well, I'll try a Four Loco one day. I'll get a Four Loco and get it gauge whether or not. Yeah, gauge whether or not I think I can do 4 of them. We'll see. So, All right, Frank.
All right.
I appreciate it, dude. Thank you for coming up. I'm gonna have to go do that sour one just so I don't have to do this one. All right, Frank.
Have a good one, man.
Adios, bro. That's actually a pretty good move by him. He's like, all right, fine. You won't do the sour ball one. I'll think of something else to make him do the sour ball one. Brad wants me to do a spicy wing challenge. I could try that sometime. I don't know how far I'll get. I'm not a huge. While I feel like my taste is starting to come back a little bit. I'm definitely not back to super taster ability, but the other day I started to notice that I'm smelling things more. I can taste a little bit better, and I attribute it to I've been eating oranges lately, and I've noticed it since I started eating oranges that because I lost my taste and smell really bad during COVID, and it's slowly coming back. But it was like once I started eating these oranges again, or not again, but just started eating these oranges, it kind of started to ramp up coming back. So that's pretty cool. It's good news. Maybe the super taster will come back one of these days. Let's see here. Some pretty, some funny comments in here from last night regarding my rant about about having to kind of boot a couple people. I think some people reacted to it and probably tried to give me a little support. I got one from user M. Says, you're always my favorite person from Rover, and your show is so much better than RMG. Well, thank you. I wouldn't agree with that. I still think RMG, while I don't listen to RMG, I'm sure it's still a great show. I will say I'm not on it, but I don't listen to it, but I know it's better when I'm there. And I'm not trying to take away from anybody who's on it now, not by any means, but I just know the chemistry when I was there. The show is better when I'm on it. So, but either way, doesn't matter. Moved on. Not that big of a deal. So going back to the comments about kind of complaining about me being off and why people booted or jumped ship or got booted or whatever. Mark says, yo, what's up? Mark is a prolific commenter, so I have several comments from Mark here. He says, yo, what's up, Dom? How's it going? Watching the rerun. I agree with you 100%. Don't give these clowns no more energy. It's crazy how people point the finger. Pete, who I actually gave a little bit of a hard time to the other night when he commented on when I took a night off to go to my son's concert. He had commented on it regarding that I posted that we were going to be off too close. He insinuated that I forgot that my son had a concert, which I did, but I didn't, if that makes sense. And then Pete has a pretty funny comment. He goes, what the F? The show is supposed to be on from 7 to 9. Why did you end at 9:12? I'm on a schedule. And now because of you, I got fired from my job, my wife left me, my house burned down, and my dog ran away. Thanks a lot for the extra content. So a little bit of appreciation, a little bit of love for your old pal Dom. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. Let's see here. I saw a comment in here, Irish Ronnie, going back to drunk family members. Irish Ronnie said, my dad once got stuck in a pillowcase thinking it was his t-shirt. It was hilarious watching him try to find armholes for about 15 minutes. Well, he doesn't say he was drunk. I just assume he was drunk. Trying to put a t-shirt or a pillowcase on. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to read what Michael K is saying. It's like wine if you live under a bridge. I'm assuming that's what he means about Four Loko. I'm a little confused by that. So, anyway. All right, I got an update from a story that we talked about I don't know, was it yesterday or the night before? I'm actually couldn't remember exactly when we talked about it, but the other day I played a video about, let me just show you, see if you guys remember this video. I played this the other night. Hold on, why is this dragging over? Here we go, zoom in. All right, here we go. So here's this video, and I'm assuming you guys will probably remember this from the other night, but if you don't, this is from an Oklahoma high school. They were doing a fundraiser for a local coffee house that is run by special needs people. And, you know, high schools do different types of fundraisers. I'm trying to think of like fundraisers we did when I was a kid. Like you do bake sales, car washes. I'm trying to think of another fundraiser thing we did. I don't know. It's usually just car washes, to tell you the truth, that I can remember, and bake sales. I can't think of anything else. But apparently they tried to get creative at this high school in Oklahoma, and this was somehow one of, I still don't even understand how this correlates to a fundraiser, but somehow they got people to do this at the fundraiser.
He is devouring those!
Oh, God. So, those are kids licking peanut butter off the feet. I don't know if it's off of parents or both, vice versa, off of students. Either way, licking peanut butter off of feet. So again, I got a couple updates regarding that story. First update is how people are the fucking worst. There are once that story went viral originally, and that was, I don't know, maybe late last week, early this week, that story went viral. And when I talked about it, I forgot to mention the other day, that coffee shop that is run by a bunch of special needs people has been being harassed online. They've been being inundated, like on their Facebook page and everything. They've been harassed with all kinds of messages and things like that. They've been getting inundated with prank phone calls. And so, they have special needs people running it. So they might be answering the phone potentially. And, maybe one of them answers the phone is a little bit more high functioning than one might be flipping burgers or something like that. But still, you start confronting them on the phone and screaming at them about something about toe licking and peanut butter. They're going to be like, what, that's going to be confusing. And it could cause, maybe some sort of outburst or whatever, just discomfort that they don't need to have because they're just, special needs people trying to make some fucking coffee or whatever, which is such a good idea. And people are harassing about the toe licking incident like it's the fault of all these special needs people. Now, if it was a window licking incident, maybe we'd be talking differently. But no, we're talking about feet licking here. Anyway, it wasn't a coffee shop. So I mentioned how the fundraiser it was organized by the other day I mentioned that it was organized, in my opinion, by some dude who has a foot fetish. Because why else would you do something like this? It's just the guy who had he's a freak. He loves toes, he loves feet, he loves watching people lick feet and lick toes. And so he put on a mass toe licking thing for him to just sit there, preside over. Look at all these toes, and it's getting recorded so he can go home and jack off to it or whatever. And I did mention B1 needs to get into selling foot pits because these foot dudes are just so obsessed with their kink. At first, they'll drop top dollar for those foot pics. But the actual update has nothing to do with the actual coffee shop. It has to do with the fact that this is not the first time that this has happened at a high school in Oklahoma. Apparently, another school has done this same thing. Now, is there a video to this? It did not work. Where's the no audio? Oh, apparently there's no audio to it, but apparently, like I said, there's no audio. But this is from a high school in 2015 who also did a fundraiser that featured more foot licking, and it got even worse than just foot licking. Check this out. Now, there's no video, so if you're no audio. So if you're just listening, it's a close-up of a guy with his feet spread eagle, two people holding his feet, what look to be students, and they are going to town on the guy's toes, licking peanut butter and stuff off of the guy's feet in a gymnasium in front of a bunch of other students, it looks like to me. Whoa, the kid's wearing a Cavs jersey. Wait, he's wearing an old Shaq jersey. An old Shaquille O'Neal. This wasn't in Cleveland, was it? I swear I saw this was in another Oklahoma school. Yeah, it was from actually another school in Oklahoma. But either way, it's kind of weird. He's wearing a Shaquille O'Neal Cleveland Cavaliers jersey. When it was 2015, maybe that's when he was playing there. I don't remember. But still, a weird jersey for somebody in the middle of Oklahoma. Back to the jersey. Maybe that's why he's wearing the jersey, because it's moved from toe sucking and foot licking to armpit licking. He has a jersey on with his arms up in the air, and they've begun licking his armpits. And I'm assuming that means I see peanut butter on the table there. So it looks like they're licking peanut butter out of his armpits. Here's another one in 2020 where it looks like maybe they're licking ketchup off of someone's toes. In another school, here is looks like chocolate pudding. Thank you, TMZ. Looks like chocolate pudding off of someone's armpits at a different school in 2020. What the fuck is going on in these fucking schools? What the fuck? This shit is out of control. I'm pretty, like, I at least I think the school that my kids go to, the city they live in, is a pretty conservative city. I don't think I would see something like this happening at that school. If it did, I feel like it would be everywhere. It would, I mean, look at what just happened in Oklahoma. So, but I tell you what, as a parent, if I found out that my kid got coerced into doing that or forced into doing something like that as part of some sort of fundraiser for his fucking band trips or something, I would be furious. This is like uber weird fetish shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what, didn't the old guy in the old show talk about? He used to like, didn't Dieter say he used to like fuck armpits? So that's a weird fetish that people had. Fucking licking armpits and sucking toes. It's so fucking gross with food and everything in it. Like, how are adults? Adults know that is associated with sex. They're not even sex, just kinky sex too. How are the people who are in charge of this allowing this to go on? I can't. If this was going on with my kid, I'd be at a board meeting yelling at like a fucking Karen. Like just literally, what is going on in this school? What are you people teaching here? What does sexual kinks have to do with algebra and English? You know, that would be me. I'd turn into one of those fucking dolts who, well, they're not dolts. They just care about their kids and they just sound like idiots while they're doing it. But I would turn into one of those people in a heartbeat if my kid got forced to start fucking licking armpits just to pay for a trip to fucking Philadelphia for a band or some shit like that. So we got to keep an eye on this story to see if more stories come out like that and see what happens at the school. If people get in, you know, we need to find out if the foot fetish community is behind this teenage toe licking. So I'll be keeping an eye on that because I'm interested to see what happens with that story. Crazy. And apparently teachers are just freaky. Sorry, I'm peeking over at the chat here real quick. Secret ADS mod said, normally I'm against yucking someone's yum until this moment. Yucking someone's yum? I don't know what that means, Secret ADS mod. That's a weird one for me. Amanda, who has an OnlyFans page, says, that's literally nothing compared to the stuff that is asked of me. The stuff I've seen. Send me an email, Amanda. I'd love to see some screenshots of some of the things you're asked to do. AnotherDumbShow@gmail.com. I'd love to hear more about, because B1 has her OnlyFans, but she's not like real like fetishy by any means. She's just, you know, hot chick taking her clothes off. But anyway, speaking of B1, who is in a calendar, going back to that last story, where apparently there's something going on with teachers or schools in general where they're just freaky. I don't know if they're just like, you know, they got to let loose all these teachers because they're just stuck dealing with all these shitty kids all day or whatever. But apparently, those teachers in Oklahoma have lost their minds. Well, apparently teachers in Australia have also lost their minds as well. At an Australian high school, parents are now outraged at pictures that have leaked of a calendar made by the teachers. So the teachers at this school in Australia, they made a calendar of themselves. And the pictures that they put in this calendar aren't just like them, in the classroom doing normal classroom things or, doing teachery things to celebrate each other. Instead, they have some pretty raunchy, pretty kinky pictures that they have put in this calendar. And if I had to guess, it looks to me like this is the school where these pictures are being taken. Like, this looks to me like this is the teacher's lunchroom. Here's a picture of one of the teachers down on all fours wearing a what looks to be like a shiny gold metallic mankini, like Borat would wear, but not quite as revealing. And he's down on his hands and knees, and standing over him is looks to be a hefty woman or maybe a man, standing next to him with their leg on his back. And I can't tell what they're holding. It's blurred out, maybe a joint or something. I can't really tell. What might that be? I don't know what they're holding. Oh, they're not holding anything. There's a person sitting in the background. There's another teacher in the background just sitting there fucking doing work on a laptop or at a desk there. Are you seeing that? Okay. Well, that just makes it even stranger. All right, so there's one of the pictures. Here's another picture of the mankini guy at a school desk. Looks like maybe the periodic table of elements or some shit like that behind him. And then again, wearing his mankini, sitting in the chair that he teaches his students from. And then this last one. This is the one that really I don't understand at all. This is a girl like kneeling a little bit or squatting down just a little bit in front of a guy while the guy is getting ready to pour what looks to be milk on her, or into her mouth at least. Which, I gotta say, what the fuck is the weird milk fetish? Because I've seen this before. I haven't seen it as much lately, but when I was younger, I would see like softcore Cinemax kind of porns, where they would have girls taking baths in milk and other weird things, like where guys would pour the milk all over them. It was really, really weird. And so I don't really understand that fetish much. So that picture confused me very much. I mean, honestly, think about milk in the bed. I don't like food in the bed at all. Like, that peanut butter shit was bad enough in that last story. But milk in the bedroom? Can you imagine? I mean, it's going to get all, even if you clean it up as best as you could, there's still going to be, it's going to get into the cracks of like the bed or the bed frame, or in the cracks in the floor. If you have carpet, it's going to get in that. And then, like, how do you know what's what once it's like, if you miss it and it dries, it's going to be goo, dried goo that's white and dusty. But what are you actually cleaning up at that point? Is it milk or some other kind of dried goo? It's just the whole thing's a mess. Just globs of milk jizz everywhere. So fucking gross. Now again, I have no problem with being kinky. Again, I'm a freak. I'm a pretty kinky ass dude. But again, let's not hang those. Let's not take those pictures in the school. Number one. Let's not hang it up in the. I know the kids don't go in the teacher's lounge or whatever, but let's not hang it up anywhere at all within the school. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I always talk about people needing to hold themselves to a fucking higher standard. And this is another occasion where the teachers did not do that. So hopefully, but I don't know. I've always heard stories about teachers being total freaks and that they get, My kid had a teacher who was like, it looked like she was like 21. And I think she was also, in addition to being my son's, like, I think it was like a kindergarten teacher, I think she was also a bottle girl at one of the clubs downtown. But she didn't bring it into the school or anything like that. She didn't dress all hot and sexy or anything. She just looked like a normal chick. So, normal young 21-year-old girl. Who could be a bottle girl. That's what she looked like. But she didn't like come there wearing bottle girl outfits or, say, hey, you should come to the club once you drop the kids off or whatever. It's nothing weird like that. She held herself to a higher standard and kept that shit separate from the teaching job. Let's see here. I am... Michael K is going nuts on the in the chat tonight. I'm not sure what's going on with Michael K, but he's kind of coming at everybody a little bit, which is, you guys can handle yourselves in there. I'm trying to figure it out. I think he was giving Amanda a hard time for having an OnlyFans. He said, I'm not surprised. Of course, Amanda has an OnlyFans. Who doesn't? I don't know. I never understand dudes who have a problem with the OnlyFans. It's seriously like, who fucking cares? Like, I really, truly don't understand it. It's a place where women like to take their clothes off for you. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. So, I don't know, man. I don't know why people have a problem with that. I do not. Somebody who I wouldn't mind her taking her clothes off is Haley Steinfeld. Now, she's pretty hot. This is kind of a shitty picture of her, blurry picture of her, but a pretty good picture of her. That is the Buffalo Bills quarterback, Josh Allen. If you don't know who Josh Allen is, he's the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. I'll show you Josh Allen in case you don't know. Let's show you what he looks like. I'm trying to find him in a non-football picture, but there you go. There's him as a normal dude. Here's Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. Right there. Decent, normal-looking dude. Obviously, never would be able to pull a chick that looks as good as Haley Steinfeld if it wasn't for the fact that he's a multi-million-dollar NFL quarterback. Not saying that she's a jock chaser or anything like that, but let's be honest, probably wouldn't give him the time of the day otherwise. But it brings people together, Not that he's ugly, dude. No, maybe he would be able to pull it. I don't know. But anyway, they went on a trip to, Amanda said she emailed me a video, so I'll have to check that out. I don't know if it's, is it clean? Am I able to play it? Whatever this video is you're sending, is it clean? Can I play it? But anyway, back to Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld. They were in Paris. Why is this not dragging in here? What is going on with this not showing audio? Playing audio. Either way, you don't really even need the audio for this one. Haley Steinfeld and Josh Allen were in Paris, and they went out to dinner. And when they left dinner, I don't know if they were going back to their hotel or where they were going back to, but they were caught by the paparazzi on video, and this happened. Now, it's important. You're going to see Josh Allen already halfway out of a car. And the car, it matters because it has to do with the car. Josh Allen stepping out of the car. Haley Steinfeld is in the car. Watch what happens when he gets out. So that was Josh Allen. You'll notice did not wait for Haley, just straight up bolted right for the door. And she was kind enough to stop it with see a young fan. But this right here, this bolting out of the car and right inside is actually what kind of the internet went crazy over. They said that Josh Allen was a bad guy. He's not chivalrous. He doesn't. Haley Steinfeld needs somebody who's going to be willing to stand there and hold the door for her and help her out of the car, not just turn. Because you had to see. I don't know if you saw the assistant was helping. Ended up helping Haley get out of the car right here. They're saying Josh Allen should have waited around and done that himself. Now, if you notice in that video, go back to Josh. And I got to tell you, they are right. It is weird, especially in Paris. You obviously you're both dressed up all nice. Well, she is. He's kind of is, and we'll get to that in a sec. But you'll see he has a sweater wrapped around his waist, which is, hey, whatever your taste in clothes is, whatever. But he doesn't wait around for it. Now, I think you got to, especially on a night where you're all dressed up, you got to help him out of the car. You got to help your guys. You got to help your lady out of the car. It's just what you do. They usually got either a short dress on or a long dress with a big slit up on it, and they're worried about showing off their cooch when they get out, so they got to keep their legs together. So you got to help them out of the car. So I agree with the people who are saying, why didn't he do that? But it turns out, going back to the sweater that's around his waist, he does not have. He's not wearing that for fashion. No, nobody does that anymore. No, in the 80s, people would rock them around their waist, over their neck or whatever. But now, nobody does that. The reason he's wearing that around his waist is because when they went out to dinner, somehow, some way, I don't know what caused it, but he ripped his pants in the back. So his ass cheeks are actually hanging out of his pants. So he's just trying to get into the hotel with you can even see him holding on to the sweater right there as he's walking away. You'll see he gets out, makes a point to kind of hold on to it and make sure it doesn't flap as he walks, because his ass crack is hanging out. So maybe that's a jacket too, like a suit coat. I can't even tell, but he's holding it because he doesn't want his ass crack to hang out, which is kind of silly. I wouldn't want to go. I would obviously go. I would be like, honey, you're on your own. Figure it out. I'm going in so all these cameras don't get a shot of my ass crack. And that kind of sucks. I know they're multimillionaires and superstars and famous celebrities and all that stuff, but think about if you had to. Think about if that happened to you if you're out to dinner with your girlfriend or whatever, and you rip your pants. That's a funny story that you guys would end up telling forever. Instead, in this case, it turns into this freaky ass PR nightmare where you were just trying to get out of the car and not show your ass off. And then the whole internet is accusing you of being a bad guy and not giving a shit about your girlfriend and not being chivalrous. Really, just so you don't show your ass off. But just instead he gets called by a jerk. So the only way he's got out of it is to come out and tell everybody my pants ripped and my ass were hanging out, which is embarrassing. It's a fun story because it's embarrassing between you and your girlfriend. If you ended up showing your ass to everybody, or you had to go around telling everybody about it, it would be embarrassing. You don't want to go to work the next day, but maybe to one of your coworkers or something, but you wouldn't want to broadcast everywhere that you went out to dinner and you ripped your pants and your ass was hanging out the night before. You wouldn't want that. So actually feel kind of bad for a celeb there. They can't have their own little fun little between them moment because of what happened with the paparazzi getting hold of it or whatever. I actually feel bad for celebrity for once. I usually never do. But for whatever reason, that actually made me feel bad for him. I am going to see. I'm getting a drink here. Hold on. All right. So a couple days ago, it's funny that this story came out about literally, it might have been the same day or a day apart. But a couple days ago, when I was out door dashing, I had to run into a grocery store. I had to shop. And then so you go in, you go just like normal, like anybody else going to a grocery store. You go in, you shop, you pay with your phone or your card or whatever, and then you go out to the car. So I did that. I dropped off the cart in the store because I only had 2 bags. So I'm carrying the 2 bags with me out to the car. As I'm walking, as I'm putting the cart away and starting to spin out to leave the store, I noticed there's like a young couple who are on their way out of the store as well, kind of 50 feet behind me or whatever. So I'm walking to the car. I get to the car. I go in through the passenger side to put the groceries on my passenger seat. And I close the door of the passenger side and I loop around to my side of the car. And as I'm getting onto my side of the car, I see that the couple is not, they haven't quite made it to my car yet. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm going to get in because I'm driving. I'm trying to deliver and go quick. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to go real quick. As soon as I see them walk to, like, basically, if I can get in the car and get it started before they are coming, I'm going to go first. I'm going to make them wait for me. Dick move, but I was going to do it anyway. Then they got too close and I realized I wasn't going to be able to do that. So the car's on and I'm already got the car in reverse. I don't back up at all. I'm just sitting there in reverse. Now, this isn't some weird road rage story, so I don't want to get your hopes up for that. It actually has a little bit more to do with what just happened with that Josh Allen thing and chivalry. Because while I'm sitting there ready to get out, like if you walk in a parking lot and you walk up to a car that's in reverse ready to back out and you're parked right next to it and you're on the passenger side and you're about to get into the car, you go quickly to try to, because you've already impeded that car backing out, right? So if you don't stand by your trunk and wave the car out, which some people do, and personally I don't think that's a good move. I would just do what I recommend is you just hurry your fucking ass up and get in the car real quick. Because that person is clearly waiting for you to get into the car. So you hurry up and get into the seat, right? You hurry into the passenger seat. So instead, I'm sitting there. I notice the girl start to walk up, and I kind of look up, and I check my rear view one more time. I look at my rear view camera one more time, and I'm expecting to look over to my left, and she'll be in the car, and I'll be able to back up because she's already gotten into the car. Instead, I look over to my left, and I see the dude, the boyfriend, with his back to my window. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I realize he's opening the door for his girlfriend. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? We're in a busy ass fucking parking lot. You guys are wearing fucking sweatpants and dirty white t-shirts. And you're going to act like you're some sort of getting into like a beat up old, I don't know, fucking piece of shit old car. And I'm not saying my car's that sweet, but this was a real piece of shit car. Like this is some sort of fucking gentleman here. But I guess maybe if that's what you're offering is dirty white t-shirts and shitty cars is the best you can offer is open the door for the chick, you do that. But in a busy parking lot, get your fucking ass in the car, okay? Don't dawdle. Don't dick around. There's no time for chivalry right there. You don't need to come open the door for hero. You don't need to do that. In fact, you should really be like, hey, hon, because when she walked up, she might not have noticed that my lights were getting ready to back up. And she also might not have noticed me like in the car. Even though they watched me walk up, she just might not have been paying attention because she's looking at her door, right? So if that were B1 and she's looking at the door and not kind of dawdling a little bit, I'd be like, hey, babe, that dude's getting ready to back out. Hurry up a little bit. And not trying to be a dick, like telling her what to do, just being like, so A, she doesn't get clipped by a mirror if the person does start backing up, and B, so she's hustling a little bit and getting out of the fucking person's way. And I would be doing the same thing if I was getting in the passenger seat. So, considerate people would have just hurried up and gotten in the fucking car instead of this knight in shining armor coming over and opening up the fucking door for her and fucking wasting like 15 seconds of my time. 15 seconds? Do you know how much time 15 seconds is to a DoorDasher? It's an eternity. It's an eternity. How dare they? How dare they fuck with me? But no, I would hold the door for, and I don't want to, people are going to be like, no wonder B1's not with them. But no, in the proper environment and situation, I was very chivalrous and would do that kind of stuff. Open the door for her, help her into the car, help her across the street, help her walk, things like that. I would do all that stuff in the situation where that you need, here's the chivalry thing on a normal day where you're just going out to like a regular restaurant. You got shorts and a t-shirt on, and she's got sweats and a t-shirt on. You hold hands. That's as much chivalry as you get. You yank them back if they're getting ready to walk into the street or something. There you go. If you're going out to like a fancy steakhouse, something like that. If you're going to, a really nice restaurant and you're both dressed up. She's got a nice evening gown on. You got a nice suit on, or whatever you wear out to look nice as a dude. Chicks usually wear like an evening gown, and like I said, sometimes they're short, sometimes they're very long with like a slit, and you need help getting out of the car or walking in their high heels. That's the time that you do that, not in a busy ass fucking grocery store parking lot where you got people out there trying to make them ducats, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of my way! Fucking holding the door open for her. Move, stupid! I'm trying to back out. And then I gotta wait for him. Close the door. Walk his happy ass around the car, all that shit. And George, I'll grab you in one sec. And the reason I know I'm right is because the girl that was having the door held for her was looking at me like she knew it was taking forever. She looked so uncomfortable. Not like because of me saying or doing anything. I was just looking down at them getting ready to back out, just waiting. Wasn't making dirty looks, nothing like that. I might have had a confused look on my face or something like that, but she fucking looked like she was a hostage. Maybe she was a hostage, and that's why the guy had to open the door for her, and I didn't see him being like, get in the car, bitch. No, she clearly had a look on her face like she knew it was lame that he was doing that in a busy parking lot. She understands. She has some class and decorum. He is a shitty brown knight in shining tarnished armor. Curious George, you're on another dumb show. What's up, dude?
Good evening, Dom. How are you?
I'm good, dude. What's up?
I'm doing good. So I wanted to ask you the DoorDash questions and stuff. I mean, I tip well, but I'm always curious. Do you know how much a person tips prior to you picking up the order, or do you just get one big old tip at the end of your shift?
No, they tell you what it will, I don't know. It's based on mileage and time plus tips. So if you do it enough, if you dash enough, you start to learn kind of how the math works on it. So, it's hard to explain, but you'll start to see, just for sake of, let's say it's $1 a mile, just to make it easy. So if you see something pop up that says it's going to be 3 miles for what you're going to do, I usually want it to be at least $5. Hopefully you get more than that, but if it's $2 over the amount of miles, that's usually a good run. And it doesn't show you what the tip is, but you can usually tell who's tipping and who's not based on, you do enough runs, you start to recognize kind of what the, you just know based on how far you have to go, what restaurant you're going to, how far you are from that restaurant, all that. It's all based on miles and time. And you can decline offers if it looks like they're not tipping at all, or a lot of times I'll decline a shopping offer where they have 57 items that I need to shop for, but they're only covering the mileage. It won't cover the time where I'm shopping. So usually the shopping has to have a big fat tip on top of it because it actually takes up my time that I could be on the road making other tips. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
okay. I was just curious about that. And the second thing is, and be honest, it might be hard to because you're still working for DoorDash. Do you ever eat a chicken nugget or a French fry or take a pick at do you do that honestly? You see it and go, look, there's 90 nuggets, I'll take one.
No, first off, I don't really eat during the day, so I'm not hungry. But second off, I wouldn't do that. And third, everything is sealed now. If you get anything from DoorDash, for the most part, most of the major chain restaurants, all the fast food restaurants, they seal it shut with a sticker. So you'd have to actually physically break that sticker in order to get in to get your McNuggets. Now, if you get your hands on one of those rolls of stickers, shit, you could go ham. You get an Arby's roll of stickers, you sneak a mott stick here and there. But otherwise, no, I would never do anything like that because I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me. The idea of that grosses me out so much. The only thing I don't like about the door dashing is the smell of the food in my car. We don't eat in my car. It's like one of the rules. We don't really eat in my car. Like kids don't eat in my car. Might have a Starbucks drink or something, but no food. Unless we're on like a major road trip. But for the most part, no. So smelling, when I get in and out of my car, if it's like right after I finish door dashing, it'll smell like Arby's or usually the Pizza Hut is the worst. Pizza Hut has such a strong smell. It will make my car smell for a day. It just stinks so bad. I have to air out the pizza, like the bag, because I have these big pizza bags to keep the food warm and everything. But it was fucking, it's gross, man. But it's better than me smelling like the food.
Yeah. Have you ever dealt with like an irate customer, like you took too fucking long, or where the fuck are my nuggets at, or something like that when you're heading out, like you're dropping it off? No
the only never had any actual douchebags. The only incident I had was, and this was when I first started dashing, and it was actually my bad. I went to a Wendy's, and I was picking up food for a customer, and the Wendy's were like, "Hey, we don't have the burgers. We're out of meat or whatever." And I was like, "Okay." And she goes, "You have to tell them to ask for a refund." And I said, "Okay." And this is like when I had first started. So I delivered it, and then the lady was like, started texting me and was like, "Hey, where's my burger?" And I was like, "Oh, the restaurant said they were out of meat. You just have to ask for a refund." And she was like, she wasn't happy about it. I can't even remember what she said, but I was like, "Look, I'm really sorry. There's literally nothing I can do about it. You got to just ask for the refund." And that was probably the only incident I had. And it was my own fault because there's actually a thing in the app where I can go, store has an issue, item missing, and then I can say what item's missing and blah, 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 blah. So that was me not realizing how the app worked at that point. But that's the only incident I've had. I have all 5-star ratings except for 2 4-star ratings. And I think I know what one of them was. It's because, and it was literally from the first day I was door dashing, because this bitch has a fucking thing, and it doesn't pop up until you're actually physically in the driveway and arrived. It'll tell you some drop-off instructions. Well, this bitch puts in the drop-off instructions, "Let's play a game. If you can get to my door and drop off the food without my dogs barking, you'll get a 5. If not, you get a 4. And I didn't read that until yeah, literally. And I didn't read that until I was literally clod hopping up the fucking steps like boom, 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 boom. And then the next thing I hear is the dogs going berserk. And then I see that note like right as I'm walking up the steps. So I was like, "You fucking idiot." So yeah, I got a 4 there, but hey baby, all the rest 5 stars. I'm so lame. Man. I take pride in that. It's so gay and so stupid, but when I see that I get a 5-star rating, or like people can say if you go above and beyond, like if I get to an old person's house with all their groceries and they're like, "Just leave it at the door, I'll get it," and they're all fucking hunched over with a cane or some shit, I'll be like, "Well, would you like me to bring it and put it on your kitchen counter for you?" And like, they fucking light up. They're like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's an extra 10 feet from me. Of course. Yes, I'd be happy to do that for you." And inevitably, I end up walking out with an extra $5 for it. So, it's not a lot of money, but it starts adding up by the end of the day. You do that for enough people. And, almost always old people, when I do that for them, I get an extra tip. So, and it makes me feel good too. Even if I didn't get a tip for doing it, I'm just know I'm helping somebody who would have a pain in the ass carrying all those groceries. And that's like I saw somebody in there, Scott 78. I think I saw him calling somebody lazy. for like, he said, people are lazy. Get up and go get your own stuff. I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff I deliver to older people, especially groceries, it's people who are stuck in their home, people on breathing machines, people on walkers or canes who, they can't carry groceries from the grocery store and up to their apartment. They can't do that from their car to their apartment if they even have a car. So I actually feel like I'm helping people who aren't just lazy. It's people who actually can't. I had a lady the other day who she was, I don't know, probably 30 years old, but she was in a walking boot, and like not a walking boot, but like a big cast, like, and had one of those walking things that people with foot injuries have. And she's like, yeah, I haven't been able to walk for 3 years. I had a bad foot injury and I'm just stuck I can't walk at all. And I'm like, huh, she can't go get groceries. So it's not just a lazy person. There are actually physically people out there who need this. Now, don't get me wrong. I literally will deliver a banana and a pack of gum to fucking some lazy ass motherfuckers. But if they want to give me a $8 tip for that, which is the weirdest thing, I'll get some of the biggest tips on the smallest orders, because people are just very, very strange. So it's not
definitely grateful for the DoorDash people and stuff. If you think about COVID, what would we have done if there wasn't no DoorDash people just delivering food and stuff? I was stuck at home. I was too petrified to go out. DoorDash.
That shit
right there
fucking
on my front lawn.
But boy, did it create a monster for people like me who get into a habit. And it took me until the beginning of this year when I really put my foot down on myself and said, dude, you cannot afford to do this anymore. You have to stop ordering Uber Eats every day, sometimes twice a day. You got to stop it. So it was just so convenient. Now I still get my groceries delivered, which is stupid because I go to grocery stores throughout the day. But it's too much of a pain in the ass to like get all my groceries and somebody else's groceries, because then all my groceries would sit in the car with me, and you can't do that. So I still do get groceries delivered, but that's because now I work in grocery stores and now I don't fucking feel like going back there. So it's kind of like a pay it forward thing back too. So and I found that I eat better when I order from my phone versus going into the store, because when I'm in the store, it's just like a buffet, right? It's all in front of you. So you're just like, ooh, that looks good. I want that. That pre-cooked thing that I would never buy, I'm buying that, all that kind of shit. But on my phone, I'm pretty rigid and pretty strict. I stick to what I know I like, and I don't get off track searching for other weird sweets or snacks or stuff like that. So it actually helps with what I'm buying, believe it or not.
Cool.
All right, George.
Thanks for answering that question.
You're welcome. How you doing? Good, dude. Your blood pressure ever come down after Mikey's McDonald's challenge?
Yeah, everything was good as soon as I woke up the next day and stuff. So it was fine. I just was sweating a lot at night and stuff like that. So it was like, and it was something weird. Like when I was swallowing, it felt like my esophagus or throat or whatever was closing. Like I would swallow and it was like, oh my God, it was like no enough airway or anything.
Really?
So I don't know why it was swollen. Yeah, that was the weird part. I didn't know why.
I wonder if it wasn't swollen. It was more like it was lined with mucus, because you're eating all that food and it kind of grinds your esophagus a little bit. So I wonder if it was just your body's natural reaction and it just felt like it was closing, but it was actually like mucus.
Yeah, I had acid reflux too. If you remember, I kept coughing because it was really kicking in towards the end, acid reflux. So yeah.
Yes, that's right. It reminded me of Jeffrey.
I tried, man. I was so bummed out that it's like, man, I should have strategically, did this all and stuff. It was throwing in that third Big Mac just kind of messed my mind up. I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, it does mess.
It was plain.
It does screw up you if you're not expecting a certain thing, or if you're expecting one thing and then somebody throws more food in and you got yourself psyched up for it. Like, yeah, I totally understand if I was doing that and then, or like, oh, by the way, here's a fourth Big Mac. I'd be like, are you fucking nuts? So I can understand where you're coming from. But hey, now that you know, do a little practice. See if you can stretch that tummy a little more. You did finish. So it's, I know now the time was not quite what we were looking for, as far as close to, God, I got to be honest with you, I don't think that record's getting broken. I think we could do this show until
It's
Joey
tough, man.
until Joey Chestnut or one of those type of people, or even like somebody, maybe one of these other YouTube eating phenoms. Maybe they can do it, but I don't think the average person can do it. I'm starting to feel that way because I thought you and that.
I think you're right.
I thought that other guy, Brad, who's kind of a bigger guy too. Brad, I haven't seen Brad and Amy for a minute, by the way. Hope they're doing well. I haven't seen Brad. I thought Brad was going to be able to get it down, to be honest with you. So, all right, George. Well, I will let you go, my friend. Thank you very much. And anytime you need anything, I'm a phone call away. All right, brother?
All right, man. Take
All
care.
right, peace out. Curious George, everybody. One of my favorites. So, Ryan Gallagher with a nice comment there. He says, I'm going to start watching this more. I've always missed Dumb when he left RMG. RMG has honestly been on a steady decline. Well, either way, I don't watch often enough to, like I said, I think I've watched it twice, and it's not me being a dick. I just, it's hard. It's, I would have, and if they had not fired me, I obviously would still be working there. So it wasn't my decision. So it was not a mutual thing by any means. So, but hey, I don't wish them, I wish them nothing but success. I really do. So, and I feel like they probably feel the same way if I had to guess. Oh, Secret ADS Mod, you're on another dumb show. What up?
Hey, I want to go back to the guy that opened the door for the girl.
Mm-hmm.
So my opinion is, like, you need to practice patience because, like, you always have to think you never know what's going on in someone else's life. So say an hour before that, they found out that she miscarried, just as an example.
Jeez.
So she had a super tough day, and that little thing that he did was something to, like, bring her back up. Like, you can't expect them to know you're dashing and you're in a hurry and all that stuff. But, I mean, it was what you said, 15 seconds?
Oh no, that matters. You gotta. That's common courtesy in this world. You gotta be aware of your surroundings, and you can save your chivalry for another time. You gotta be considerate of other people. That's how I feel about it.
But they're not expected to know that you're dashing. That's just stupid.
They don't need to know I'm dashing. I just got somewhere to be. That's the problem. People walk around like they got nowhere to be. Other people got places to be, man. Even when I'm not dashing, I got somewhere to be. Get the fuck out of the way. Hurry it up.
You can always park in the back of the parking lot where there's no cars around, and then you would never have to deal with that. You just have to walk a little farther.
Secret ADS Mod, you're well aware of my extensive injury file. There's a file being kept of me and my injuries. So you're expecting me to park at the back of the lot? Certainly not. Certainly not.
But you're expecting these people to be courteous of you.
You want me to park back by all the dipshit truckers who take up 4 spots? They literally park and take up 4 spots with their giant trucks. You want me to go park by those guys? That's a fist fight waiting to happen, parking by those guys. No, thank you. I'll stick next to the chivalrous nerds.
And the other thing that's kind of BS that you said was just because they don't dress for success, right? They were in a wife beater and sweatpants or whatever, that they can't be nice people. That's wild to me.
I'm not suggesting they weren't nice people. I was mentioning that their attire and everything more to compare it to going out to a nice restaurant. You know what I mean? Like when you're all geared up and you're going out to a nice place, or a restaurant might be, that's the best example I could come up with. You're not getting all dressed up to go to the grocery store. And usually at a restaurant, there's not a bunch of people trying to get in and out and waiting and blah, blah, blah. There's, you go into a nice restaurant, there's, plenty of parking. You find a place to park.
Sure.
Or valet takes it.
Sure. But people are dressed to the nines going to a fancy dinner. That's when a girl would expect something like that to be done. But
Right.
It's super nice when somebody does that for you when you're dressed up like a dirtbag. You know what I mean?
And I've done this before. I'm telling you, I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't done what this guy did before. But never if there was another car next to it. Like never if I noticed it would impede another vehicle. It would just be like I would be like, hey, hustle up, dude's trying to back out. But if that dude wasn't there have been times where I've just walked up and I've popped the door for her and said, like a dork milady. You know what I mean? Like I've done that before. And then she jokes around and, and she gets in and says some other weird kind of medieval fucking thing. Like, I don't know, I can't imitate it, but so it's happened before. Maybe 0.5% of all the times we've got in and out of the car, but I have done that before.
Yeah,
so
but you're treating it as though the world has to revolve around you, and it just plainly doesn't.
No, it's not that at all. It's that they're thinking that the world revolves around them. You're getting hooked on the fact that I said I'm door dashing. Take door dashing out of it. It's just that I'm just a person trying to go somewhere, and they are impeding my going somewhere because they're going.
It's not the same.
They're dilly dallying. Let's snap to it. Let's get enough with the dawdling. We got a lot of dawdlers out here. Let's get going. Get in the car.
Not everybody's in a hurry.
So, well,
be patient.
I got no time for patience, especially when we're dealing with cars and parking lots. Let's fucking go.
Well, I guess we'll agree to disagree. That's all I got.
All right, bye, Secret Ace Mod. Thank you for calling. All right, so let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back. Oh shit, it's already 8:25 already. Fuck. All right, yeah, actually, I got stuff to talk about when we come back. I got a few things to talk about, actually. So let's just take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about some other stuff. There's big news in the fighting world today. I can't wait to talk about. I think Mikey's in there, so I'd love to get his opinion on it. Mikey, I just saw a comment in the chat. He goes, Psh, I take 4 spots in my '09 Merc, dumb. See, there you go. That's the kind of guy. Mikey and I, well, we're good buddies now. I'm sure if Mikey and I ran into each other in some sort of road rage incident, we'd end up headlocking each other. So we'd just be 2 dudes fucking headline, one headlocking the other, just going in circles like 2 fucking dipshits in the middle of the road. Let's see here. CYX says, I agree with Dumb on this. I try to always pay attention and make sure I'm not holding up anyone. For sure. I totally, that's the best way to put it. I really try to make sure that I'm not like, I try to be, cognizant of the people around me and not, and really just try to make, not be in other people's way, not impede their way. Just make sure I'm not holding anybody up. That's really the best way to put it. Good job, CYX. I like that. Smart lady. All right. Let's take a quick break. Second hour is always happy. Hey, we've already started the second hour here, and I've already started myself. So, hey, grab those kids, find a truck with a 4-way parking spot, throw them in the back of that truck, close the fucking truck bed, and then just leave. Go get your drink, your mokey moke, and hopefully just put a note with your address and say, hey, drop these motherfuckers off after another dumb show after 9. And then you just go home and get your drinky, your mokey moke on for the rest of another dumb show. We'll be right back. Hit that thumbs up while we're gone. Hang on. Welcome back to Another Dumb Show. I'm Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for hanging out with me on your Thursday night for issue number 190. So glad to have all you guys here with me live. Those of you who aren't watching live, I don't give you guys enough shout outs, but there are tons of people who don't watch live, so I greatly appreciate all of you who are not watching live as well. So shout out to all you guys. Don't forget, you can always comment on the show, anything we talk about. I usually will try to read those comments back the next day. So don't forget to like tonight's show. I would greatly appreciate all of you guys to do that. Let's see here. I saw something during the break. What did I see here? Oh, I saw Brad. Brad was in there. He was saying somebody should do a quick tweet to Joey Chestnut to see if he answers about the Mikey's McDonald's challenge. Now, I wonder, let's see, what is his record for how fast he can eat those hot dogs? Let's see, Joey Chestnut hot dog record. Let's see what it is here. Oh, fuck, you got to be kidding me. He would crush this. He would destroy this time. He would do this in fucking 4 minutes, I bet. On July 4th, 2021, Chestnut won his 14th title at Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, eating 76 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's insane. That's so many hot dogs in such a short period of time. I don't know how the fuck. Look at all that. Look at all those hot dogs. Can you imagine eating that in 10 minutes? I don't even know if that's actually 76 of them either. That's just a big pile of dogs. Who knows how many that is? But look at him. Look at the sweat. Now, I know they're doing that outside, so it's going to be hot if you're doing it outside anyway. But that shit right there, that's real, man. When you do any kind of large amounts of eating, you sweat like this. It's literally dripping off his chin. I will get that if I just eat a bunch of money. Or eat a bunch of money. I'm seeing I owe Diz a super fan. Diz put in a super fan donation earlier, and I never got to it, so I apologize, Diz. Thank you very much, dude. He said it's to go towards the next challenge. Secret ADS mod says, but can he eat 96 tacos? No, I don't know if he can do that. I barely did that myself, and that was across 4 hours. So, I mean, we're talking fucking different worlds here. The hours was the 60. I ate 60 nuggets or 100 nuggets in 100 nuggets? Yeah, 100 nuggets in an hour. That was crazy. That was crazy. I don't know if that's comparable to the dogs though, because there's so much more chewing with the hot dog. Hot dogs are so fucking chewy. Anyway, so reminder, I'd love to hear from you guys. 844-HIT-DUMP. Thanks, Secret ADS Mod, for a great call earlier. I encourage you guys to call in. I love to have, I pay for these damn phones, so I love to hear from you guys on them. 844-HIT-DUMP, 844-448-3862. I'll be interested to hear what a lot of you think about this next story. I came across a story about a guy, we talked about how Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Bills, was getting a lot of flack for not being a gentleman, and I was getting some flack for not being a gentleman. But this next story is interesting. A lot of people in it, obviously. Well, not obviously. Once you hear it, there are plenty of non-gentlemen involved in this story. Why is this doing this? Hold on. They keep dragging stuff in, and it's not dragging the audio with it. There we go. Okay, cool. Need the audio for this one. There we go. Okay. So, so the story I was talking about, there's Josh Allen's in trouble for not being a gentleman. There's a story about a husband and a wife, Fernanda and Vincente. Fernanda's the wife, Vincente's the husband. They're influencers. They have about 300,000 followers online. And they are on a motorcycle journey around the world, and they document this on their Instagram. Let's see here. See if I can find their Instagram. I thought I had their Instagram here. Did I lose their Instagram page? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't need to show you what they look like. Wait, hold on. Where'd that go? Hold on, I want to show you what they look like. So give me a sec here, because it matters for the story. Here is, okay, here you go. Here's a perfect one. This is a good one. This is from their Instagram. This is Fernanda. Now, and you can see why they have quite a lot of followers. She's younger. She's very attractive. She is, I think she's 30-something years old, and he is 60-something years old. So, where is this story? Where I had their ages in here? Because it's part of the unique thing about why people are following them. Here it is. Fernanda, the girl in this picture, she's 28 years old, and her boyfriend, her influencer husband, is 63 years old. In fact, here's a picture of the two of them. What is that, the Taj Mahal right there they're in front of? But you can see why people might be interested in following them. The major age difference from 28 to 63. That's pretty considerable, obviously. So that's what, 23 years or 24, 25 years difference. So just that alone would make people want to follow them just to see what their life is. And then the fact that they're on a motorcycle journey across the world, also another reason to want to follow them. So I can understand why they've got like 300,000 followers. But sad story, they were on this motorcycle trip. As part of the trip around the world, they ended up in India. They set up camp in India, and just like in the picture I showed you, they just had like kind of a makeshift tent. Here you go. This is exactly what we're kind of talking about here. They just popped a tent up in the middle of India. It was near the, some district of India, some district in India that I cannot pronounce. So I'm not even going to bother trying to do it. So they get in the tent, they pitch the tent, and then they just wanted to stop and rest and get some, get ready to take another long journey on their motorcycle, just the two of them, which is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I think, if they're truly in love, not just doing this for the follows or whatever, they're, he's older, she's younger. They got to go, they're riding around the world on a motorcycle together. That's pretty sweet. I like that story. Maybe just because I'm with somebody who's younger than me, I don't know, but I think that's a pretty neat story. Here is what happened to them, sadly, when they stopped in the tent in the middle of India, when they pushed up their tent to rest. This happened to them. Oh, sorry, I got to zoom out a little bit to be able to read everything there. Sorry about that. Here we go.
Pues estamos en el hospital.
Okay, so it's in Spanish, so I'm going to read it to you guys, all right? And I'm just going to turn it down then because it's in Spanish. So, hold on, let me turn it down a little bit more, actually. Here we go. So I'm going to narrate it as we go. It says, something has happened to us that we would not wish on anyone. 7 men have raped me. They've beaten us and robbed us, although not many things, because what they wanted was to rape me. We are in the hospital with the police. It happened tonight here in India. Wow. So that's fucking insane. So they're just sitting there resting, and then that happens. And then they're saying more stuff in Spanish that I don't understand. I thought they changed up what the other thing at the bottom was. Okay, yeah, it does. They switch it up, and he starts talking. He says, my mouth is destroyed, but Fernanda is worse than me. They have hit me with the helmet several times, with a stone on the head. Thank goodness she was wearing the jacket, and that stops the blows a little. All right, so he's describing the beating that he took from these thugs. And see if he says anything else after that. I think that's it. So I don't speak Spanish. So if you speak Spanish, let me know. You can call and translate for us. The reason I'm telling this story is not to give any, and it's not a motorcycle awareness or anything like that, or talk about influencers. There is a UFC fighter, a former UFC fighter, who has come out to talk about this and is questioning Vincente, the husband. He is calling him out, saying that he's blasting Vincente on Twitter. In fact, let me just show you the tweet that he put up talking about Vincente. This is from Jake Shields, a former UFC fighter. I think he was a pretty good fighter from what I saw. But Jake says, in response to this story, his wife was raped by 7 men, and the man hardly has bruises. If 7 men tried to rape any girl I'm with, I need to be dead or unconscious. It appears he got hit once or twice and decided to watch instead of fight. She will leave him, and rightfully so, within a year. As a man, you should be willing to die to protect your girl without a second thought. And then he goes on to send a second tweet out where he says, men want a woman who is loyal and will obey them, but the same man isn't willing to put himself in danger to protect her. Oh, I'm not showing you any of these tweets. I'm an idiot. Did not show the last one? There you go. His wife was raped by 7 men, and the man hardly has bruises. 7 men tried to rape any girl I'm with and he'd be dead or unconscious. It appears he got hit once or twice and decided to watch instead of fight. She will leave him, and rightfully so, within a year. As a man, you should be willing to die to protect your girl without a second thought. And then here is the other one. Says, men want a woman who is loyal and will obey them, but the same man isn't willing to put himself in danger to protect her. Why would a girl be loyal and obey a man who is just going to sit and watch her get gang raped? Y'all are a bunch of cowards. So that's in reaction to some of the people giving him a hard time online about what he said. And now, the caveman in me wants to think that I would fight back tooth and nail like that. Like he said, I'd have to be dead or unconscious to stop fighting. And I think that would be the case. I mean, I just picture myself being held by multiple people, witnessing what this guy had to witness. I'm not picturing it. I'm imagining it for the sake of the story. But 7 guys holding, or 6 guys, because the other guy's doing something else, and you got one here, or 2 on each arm, maybe one wrapped around you, one around your legs. You can't do it. Maybe one holding. It didn't say anything about a gun in this at all. So if I didn't see a gun or a knife, I'm going to fight tooth and nail until the point where they'd have to hit me with that helmet so many times I'd have to be unconscious. And I'm trying not to sound like a hard ass, but I just feel like that's how any guy would be. If it's your loved one, if it's your wife, it's somebody you care deeply for, especially he's got a hot little piece of ass wife. That's definitely something to fight for. Maybe some older hog pig that you've been fed up with for 25 years and hasn't given you sex for the last 2 years. Your guys, see ya. No, I'm just kidding. That's awful. No, nobody would want that for their wife or anybody like that. They would fight tooth and nail, and fight to the death. But it seems like this guy, according to the UFC fighter, believes that he only just took a couple blows and then gave up and just sat there and got cucked, apparently. Now, on the other hand, I could kind of see why you might not fight back that much. Because while it's awful that she's being assaulted, of course, that's the worst thing, and you got to watch it or whatever, if they're making you watch it. Jesus, the fucking most horrible thing in the world, except being dead. So obviously that's horrible for that to happen to the woman. It would be horrible for the man to have to watch. Much more horrible for the woman. I get it. Trust me, I understand. But I don't understand in that sense. But no, I get it. It's going to be much more traumatic for the woman than the man who had to watch. But on the other hand, you want to live through it. Both, not just you, her too. You don't want her to get killed after that either. So if you're just fighting so much that it gets to the point where they think that this is going to end up these are fighters, I would think that they'd be more apt to kill you in the end. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I could kind of see why this guy might not fight back the way, hey, Cal, get away from that camera. That's enough. Get away from there. I know it's almost time for the show to normally end, and this is when you do it, but knock it off. But so it's a weird, double-edged sword is the worst way to put it, but it's a horrible situation to have to think about putting yourself in. And what would this guy do? What would you do? 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. Would you fight back just enough to make it, like you're actually fighting back, but maybe you're able to claw and bite and fingernail claw or whatever you can to the point where maybe you find an opening, you can get away, and you can at least maybe hit one guy, the guy who's attacking her, and then when that happens, maybe she can get up and run, something like that. But again, I just feel like if you're dealing with seven guys on a guy and a girl, 7-on-2, that's you're outnumbered. You almost can't fight back, no matter how hard you fight. I mean, maybe a trained UFC fighter could take on 7 guys and potentially win, probably win. But if just one of them has any training, and then it's just 5 of them holding on to them, and then another person with training coming up and putting moves on them, it's a whole different story. So, I don't know, man. It's probably horrible to hear if you're B1. She's like, wait a minute, hold on. He would think twice about it. No, I wouldn't think twice about it. I would look for my opening to try to get the guy off of you or whatever. But in the end, I'm not going to be able to take 7 guys. So I could fight and just push and yank and struggle all I want. But it seems like if I just start fighting the other guys, the more I fight, the more apt they are to kill us. Both of us, not just you, not just me, both of us. I'm not worried about me getting killed, I'm worried about her getting killed. So it's a fucking dicey story. It's so sad. Gabrielle said it's so sad. But yeah, it's the crazy, what do you do in that situation? Disaster. You're on another dumb show.
What's up, homie?
What up, G?
So I got a story for you. So when I was in high school, I had a friend at a park, and we were just hanging at the park, and he let me see his pager. And I passed the pager to whoever else wanted to see it.
Pager.
And
Those are
he
awesome,
looked at me like, yeah, back in the day, they were great. The only way you could contact people.
Was the Sky?
So anyway, his pager came.
Was it SkyTel? SkyTel. Hell yeah, man. That was a good one, man. Everybody wanted that shit.
That was the old school, the greatest shit. But anyway, so his pager came up missing. He was like, hey, man, if you don't come up with my pager, I'm going to have my brother come up here with his buddies and beat you up. And you know me, dumb. I don't back down from any fight. I never have in my entire life, and I never will. Right. So he goes and he calls his brother, and his brother gets 7 of his junior varsity football friends, and they come up to the park loaded in a car. And first thing I heard as they were getting out of the car was beer cans hitting the ground and them saying, oh, we're going to get that N-word. We're going to get that N-word. So I'm immediately like, oh, this is about to be fun.
Is this a bunch of white dudes or a bunch of black dudes?
Yeah.
White dudes. Oh,
nope,
boy.
Bunch of white dudes.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And if we're going to get into it, I have a second story if that's the case.
Okay.
But so these guys come rushing at me, and you would think that 7, varsity white guys that play football should have some kind of understanding of how to grab somebody and get them to the ground.
Right.
Not at all. I was trained in Shaolin Kung Fu. I trained for 8 years with my uncle, and they had no idea. So these guys literally came running at me one at a time, and I literally punched the brains out of every single one of them and down and I have witnesses of this and everything. It's crazy. After that, nobody ever messed with me in school until, this is the second story, they did mess with me in school. There was a bunch of black dudes. Nah. Black people know how to jump. It was flies on shit is how that works.
Yeah, exactly. So shit. So
yeah, it was
so was it like a fucking literally like a movie, like a fucking I'm trying to think of a karate, like a Steven Seagal movie, where 7 guys just come up and he just fucking just I can literally dictate to you. Yep, I could dictate to you the entire fight, and I've done this several times. It came so slowly. I was laughing in my brain as this shit was happening. The first dude runs up, and I hit him with a punch from the left and a punch from the right. He falls to the ground because I hit really hard. Okay.
The next dude comes running up. And he tries to do a grab the waist kind of deal. So I just kneed him right in his face. He falls on the ground.
Okay.
Next guy comes running up. I kind of do an underarm lock and spin and put my foot out and swinging slam him to the ground. He lays there for a moment.
Yeah.
Next dude comes running up. He slips and falls. I just kick him right in the face. And the next dude just comes running up, and I punch him twice, and he falls to the ground. And for my size, I shouldn't be as fast or as athletic as I am, but it just went so slowly. It seemed like I was being jumped by a bunch of people who would Well, they had to be drunk.
Yeah, but
So
even
I'm sure that helped.
Even if you're a big dude and like you said, if you had training, you learn how to punch, you learn how to use your strength, your size to make your
Right.
punches faster. So there you go. So little training goes a long way. So that's kind of my point though. Like, but think about it, that guy. So different story, Diz. You have training. You're going to do everything you can to try to, knock a knee out. I know TV kung fu. I've watched enough TV kung fu to maybe throw a couple blocks and punch a couple knees out.
It's funny. It's funny how a lot of martial arts masters will say things like, "Oh, that TV stuff, that's just." You would be surprised how much of that stuff works because people don't expect it. They
you
really
just
don't.
start walking on.
Chop a person in the neck, or
well, mine's
they
more
don't
like
expect something like a knee kick.
B1 and I, we actually joke around the house, like when she lived here at least, but like we would just be sitting on the couch. One of us would just be like, "Wah!" Like we're gonna neck chop the other one, and it turned into a little game to see if who could get the hand up in time to actually block it and stuff. So like we got some pretty good reaction times here just between the two of us doing a little kung fu right on TV kung fu right on the couch. So, but every once in a while,
it's funny you say that.
I almost broke her finger
because I used to do the same thing. I used to do the same thing with my ex, and you ever have that moment where like she actually blocks it, and you like look at her like, holy shit!
Oh yeah,
is she learning some shit, or
no,
am I fucking up?
Definitely. Well, yeah, I'm not trained. I'm just some slow old white guy, so it's really not that impressive when she blocks it because she's younger and faster. But it's actually the other way around. Like sometimes when I go to block her, I'll do it so hard and so fast that like she'll be like, "Fuck, I think you broke my finger." Like, cause like I chop her and she catches her finger or whatever. So like that's how fast we got with it. Like we're really trying to get the other one like with a different move on the couch. We do it to each other all the time. So yeah, there's been some near misses though with the couple, where I've actually throat chopped her by accident and she's poked me in the eye by accident and all that kind of shit.
Yeah. Bruises from battle, of course. And I'm going to just address Brett real quick. He says now he's a martial arts master. No, Brett, I never said I was a martial arts master. I took Shaolin Kung Fu from the age of 8 to the age of 16. That's what I did. I never said I was a master. But I guarantee I could side swinging swoop kick the shit out of your ass. So shut the fuck up, Brett.
All right, so we got with Diz, we got a psychologist. We've got he's a relationship expert. He's now admitted that he's a kung fu master, and that let's not forget a diet expert.
Meat, vegetables, water, milk, tea.
So you're a man of many talents, Diz, and I appreciate you calling in and telling that story. That was a good story, bro. So I'll make sure I don't fuck with you.
Absolutely.
All right, bro.
No, you got me in your corner, brother. That's the best place to be.
I like that. All right, that sounds good. So if 7 white guys try to beat me up, I will call you. 7 black guys try to call me up or beat me up, I will not call you. Sound good?
No, I'll be there for the white guys. I'm not fighting 17 Miles Moraleses. That's not happening.
I don't either. I'm running. I'm putting my tail between my legs and saying, I'm a bitch cracker. Don't beat me up. All right, Diz.
I'm tripping you and then I'm running.
Yep. All right, my dude. I'll talk to you, man. Have a good night. Man. See ya. Oh, man. So the very funny story from Diz. I appreciate him calling. I love when you guys call in. 844-448-3862. So, yeah, very sad story with what happened with that story in India. And it sucks that you'd feel bad enough for this poor Vicente guy, this husband. The guy just feels like shit. He wanted to fight back. He's 65 years old or whatever. He can't fight back against 7 people. He can't do shit. And then some fucking jacked-ass former UFC guy who's been training for God knows how many years, comes along and starts bad-mouthing him and essentially calling him a pussy and a cuck. Jake Shields is kind of a dick move. Kind of a dick move, man. Let the guy. You think he wanted that to happen, or think he was just sitting there going, "Oh yeah, get her, guys, get her"? Like no, of course not. He's fucking got hit with a helmet, got punched in the face. He's all fucking woozy. He's an old man. My God, that's the problem though with a young girl being with an older guy. They're still young and hot. Guys are going to get to a point where they're not going to be able to fight anymore. I'm at that point. You know what I mean? I'm I'm 46 now. Both my wrists are shot. I can't beat anybody up. I've been trying to do push-ups just to try to get back in shape a little bit. And Christ, I can barely do fucking 10 push-ups. So, you know, I used to be able to rip off 50 push-ups like it was nothing. I remember having at one of, speaking of the old show, at one of the Gia Fests, Charlie and I got really drunk, and I was claimed that I'd be able to whoop his ass in a push-up competition. And him and Krista both laughed in my face, and his girlfriend Krista, and then we went out into the street, and I proceeded to whoop his ass in the push-up competition. Now, we do that today. He'll crush me. He'll absolutely crush me. And he's a fat fuck these days with all that meat he's smoking. I love him to death, but God, he's getting chunky, huh? I can say that now. He might weigh as much as me. It's pretty funny though. I love him, but dude, you putting on some lbs, bro. Anyway. Having said that, I really hope that everything turns out okay for this poor girl who had to go through all that. It's we're talking about the wrong thing. We're talking about the men involved in the story when really the woman is the story. She's sadly had to go through all that trauma, and it's a little weird though that it did get immediately posted on. I'm not trying to say it's fake or anything. I'm not by any means. It is just weird that the first thing, if you're an influencer, even if you take the good with the bad, you post all the good stuff, and then I guess you still post the awful stuff that happens too, and maybe they do a GoFundMe or whatever. But yeah, interesting. You get gang raped by 7 men, and then you go on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and then you do a post about it. Very strange. Very strange. Disaster is back. He goes, anyone, even a baby, can be deadly with some Muay Thai training. I'm more of a Wing Chun guy. The art of bone breaking, that's more what I'm into. If I was going to take any martial arts, that's the one I would take. It's Wing Chun, I believe, right? Or just Wing Chun. Wing Chun. Let's see if I can find a Wing Chun video, because those dudes are badasses. Those are the bone breakers. It's the art of bone breaking. Let's go. Hold on. Let's do it. Let's do this. Hold on. Let's see some Wing Chun. Wing Chun. Bone. Real fight. Real fight. All right. Let's do a Wing Chun real fight. That's versus karate. No. Brawler takes on a Wing Chun master. Wing Chun versus Muay Thai. Can I just see Wing Chun versus Wing Chun? Wing Chun street fighting. Oh, come on. All right, here we go. Let's get a boat. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about right here. All right, hold on. I got to get through this ad and we'll pop it up. And I don't think I have the audio turned on. We have any audio here?
Like this. So
all right, here we go.
This hand, that center, like got to be coming to here. So yeah. Arm broken here. So when you punch this side, the same thing. Hand like this.
Yeah.
So arm straight here to broken the arm.
That's that good shit.
And arm breaks, arm slap. On this part here.
I love that. I could watch that all day. Let's see what he does here. Let's see what the next movie does. Does he do the arm break again?
Body gym. The first thing you learn to understand the hand coming in. This hand, that center. Like body coming to here.
Yeah,
so arm broken here. So when you punch this side, the same thing. Hand like this. So arm straight, boom here to broken the arm. Okay, control and arm breaks, arm slap. Okay, same thing when he here, he punch, turn, break, and then turn like this, and then break the arm like this. So the whole body got to come up until breaking the arm.
Oh, I love it.
Basic movement onto the tip.
Art of bone breaking. That's some good shit right there, right? So if I was going to learn any martial art, it would be Wing Chun. And I only know about that because of a guy that I used to work with, a guy named Ed. Great guy. Love Ed. He was a black dude I worked with at the copier place. And he actually went to jail because he got cheated on by some bitch. And so he went over to her house to kill the guy that he was she was sleeping with, and he wasn't there, and he said, "You know what? Fuck it," and he shot the bitch in the foot. He fucking told that story like it was like he fucking slammed the door on her foot. Like that. It was so casual. He was like, "Yeah, so I shot that bitch in the foot and left." And then he ended up going to jail for attempted murder. But great dude, actually. One of the better dudes I've ever known. I love that dude. He was a great guy, Ed. I hope he's doing well. Anyway, all right. So speaking of sexual assault, Mike Tyson is in the news today. Pretty exciting news in the world of fighting. Those of you who are into fighting, there is some big news in the fight world. And where'd it go? Oh, come on. You're kidding me. Hold on one sec. What? I know I pulled that. Give me one sec, guys. Let's see here. Where is this? Hold on one sec, guys. Let me just pull this real quick. I'm going to download this video that I meant to download. Mikey, you're on Another Dumb Show. What's up, bro?
So disappointing.
What are you
It's
disappointed?
gonna be such a circus to watch.
All right, hold on. Let me play the trailer real quick, and then that way people know what you're talking about. Hold on one sec. Here's the trailer for the newest event coming up on Netflix. And Mikey, I'm going to put you on hold just for one sec. Hang on. Check this out, guys. Why is there no sound? Oh, I can't play that audio anyway. So here you go. You'll see Mike Tyson, Jake Paul meeting on the top of a roof in dramatic fashion for a live boxing event Saturday, July 20th, live on Netflix. Mikey already calling it a circus. What do you think about the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, my dude?
It's just a circus, but we're all gonna have to watch it.
I can't
You
wait.
have to at this point. As soon
I
as
can't
you
wait.
attach Mike Tyson's name to it, it has to be watched.
Of course, of course. But the the spectacle has already started. It's so funny because did you know that?
The one thing I can for sure say is I don't think Mike Tyson is ever a human being that's ever going to take a dive, could get paid to take a dive. So if anything, I don't think that this is going to be one of them, fights where the fighter fighting against Paul takes a dive.
It would have to be Jake Paul taking the dive because Paul he's the Mike Tyson's the underdog at plus 300. Jake Paul's at under 360. Isn't that fucking insane? A guy, how many fights has Jake Paul had?
It's so crazy.
6?
That fight that Jake Paul just had was so bad that they're refunding everybody that went their money.
I know. Who was that? He fought some real turdy looking white dude. I don't know who the fuck that guy was, but he looked very strange.
I have no idea. The least skilled guy he's fought yet, but some professional boxer who's had 15, 17 fights, whatever. I don't know. Look like a dude that they just picked up off the street, threw on some gloves, and said, "Here you go."
Well, the show has already started because Jake Paul tweeted a video today of Mike Tyson training. And the video that he tweeted, here's Mike Tyson training. Fucking, that's a bad motherfucker. I don't care. Jake Paul, I'll give him credit. I don't care if it is, that's the baddest fucking dude in the world. I mean, that's just, I don't care how old he is.
The baddest man ever.
But so Jake Paul posted that with a, what did he write in there? He's the greatest heavyweight of all time, the most vicious KO artist ever, but I'm younger. I'm faster, and I'm going to be working my ass off to get stronger. A member of my team sent me this video that Mike's coach put up 2 weeks ago and asked me if I'm sure that I want to fight him. And the video that he's posted, that he showed, was 4 years old. So
yeah, I was about to say that video's been out for a while.
Exactly.
That was when he just started training again, and he just started just getting back into the gym.
Exactly. And now I have some, have you seen the video of just recently, Tyson was seen at a airport, I think it was 2022. He was at an airport in a wheelchair. What is that playing? What the hell is that?
I did not see that.
Hold on one sec. Hold on. I got audio playing and I have no idea where it's coming from. Hold on.
Sounds like a train.
I know. That's why I'm trying to figure out where the fuck that was coming from. Oh, that was from the Jake Paul thing. I replayed. I see. Gotcha. All right. So here's Mike Tyson sitting in a wheelchair in 2022. You'll see he's also got a walking cane there. So he's also just came out a couple weeks ago, Mikey, or was it? I don't know when it was, but he was on his what is his Hot Box podcast.
The Hot Box podcast is a pretty good podcast.
He was telling everybody that he thinks he's going to die soon because his health has gotten so bad. So now
I didn't hear that either.
Yeah, but now he's saying he's gonna come out and fight, and I got a video of him here too, like from I don't know a few months ago of him walking with a he's got a walking stick and he's like hobbling around. He can barely walk he's limping really terribly, like with this weird kind of hobbly limp too, not like a my knee hurts kind of limp. Like he's got this weird kind of wobble hobble when he walks. So it's like they're, I don't know if they're setting it up like with all these videos that just all of a sudden started flooding today of Tyson being a near invalid. And they're trying to set it up to where they, Jake Paul's gonna take a fall, or they just know Tyson's gonna win. I don't know, man. The whole thing is kind of weird to me, but I'm gonna.
All I know is everyone's going to be watching. It's going to be the most watched thing in the entire world.
I can't wait. And Netflix it's so interesting that Netflix is doing it and they're not doing it as a pay-per-view event.
I know they're doing, Netflix is doing a lot of live things this year. They're doing a couple, they did the live comedy event.
Yeah, who'd they do? Chris Rock last year? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it wasn't it? Yeah, because Chris Rock that did it live.
Yeah, let's see what their ones they have coming up 2024. Netflix live events 2024.
Some other live events that they're starting to dip their toes in the sand with.
All right, so I'm trying to see if they have any list of some that are coming out this year.
Oh, in the meantime, did you get to watch David Lucas' special last night?
No, I didn't watch it last night. What was I doing last night? Dude, I was watching Zack Snyder was on Joe Rogan. So I got to watch him talk about Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman and the DC world, and that was fucking awesome. He's the director of I'm sure you know who Zack Snyder is.
Absolutely. I think I'm about to check out his little movie there that he just dropped because I don't really remember why. It says I watched it on Netflix, but I don't remember watching it.
I was just about to say, I remember you telling me you watched it. So
yeah, I don't remember watching it.
I would hold off because according to him, it's PG-13 on Netflix. He said that the director's cut that he has coming out this year was his true vision. The movie that he was putting together for Rebel Moon was way too R-rated for Netflix.
Well, I can't wait because the part 2 comes out in April. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't sit around and wait years for the Zack Snyder cuts to come around because he says that was his vision. If it was truly his vision, then other people would have seen it too, and that's the way we would have seen it to begin with.
Well, no, it's
Even
because
though I do like his cut of the
more
Justice League better than the original cut.
Yeah, it was way better. But no, he's saying it's more adult. Like, it's more adult themed. I think there's like some boobs and some sex scenes and, that kind of shit. So it's more, that's it. He's kind of a pervert. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wanted to put boobs in the Watchmen. And, there's some good stories. If you like the movie The Watchmen, if you like the movie 300, I recommend going to watch that.
Yeah, I like a lot of things that Zack Snyder's done for sure. I've definitely been a fan of his, but I didn't know that there was the director's cut coming out of that, and I just saw that the second part comes out next month, and I've spent a bunch of time over the past 2 weeks watching a bunch more movies again, and stuff like that. So I've been getting caught up on movies, and I watched that Dune movie. I enjoyed that. I'm gonna go watch that second one here this weekend.
You liked Dune? I haven't watched that yet, which is stupid because I like Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, so I should definitely watch that. I don't know what I've been waiting for. It just looked kind of cheesy to me, to be honest with you. And I don't like movies that are all yellow.
It's hard for me to get into like the new
sci-fi
series unless I know there's about to be a bunch more of them. So many of them like just flatline after one, or the first one kind of isn't that good. But I read a bunch of good reviews about the second one, and I was like, oh, shit, so let me give this a try.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll give it a try then, because I just hate desert kind of movies. I just hate movies that are so yellow and deserty. They're not appealing to my eyes at all. So like that's part of why I like the parts in Star Wars when they're on like Tatooine and shit like that. That's so fucking boring to me. But when they're in space, I fucking love it. Or when they Ewok land, or all that other stuff. But when they go to that fucking desert, oh
Yeah, where there's like some greenery and stuff like that. It's not just desolate.
Yeah, it's so boring to look at all that literal desert.
Oh,
it's awful.
And the reason I called yesterday, I was telling you about the tweet of James Gunn that showed they had finished wrapping some scenes from Superman. It looked like it was at like the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh, no. Oh, tweet from James Gunn. Oh, I was looking at an Instagram post from him. Oh.
Yeah, there was a tweet or something. They said they just finished wrapping, and it's in like Antarctica, or you can tell where they're filming is in like a desolate Arctic place. So everyone was saying, "Oh, the Fortress of Solitude."
Oh, where's this at? Hold on one sec. I'm looking for this tweet now. When was this? Yesterday?
It was a couple days ago. Within the last few days, you should just be able to search.
Oh, you
James
know what I
Gunn.
think? You know what I'm thinking of? Yeah, in the picture on his Instagram, the one that I showed, I think they showed his when they showed the shield, there is here, I got actually right here. There's snow on the new shield. So that was what they were saying, is that it's and I might have mentioned this too. You might have actually heard me mention this, was that it was there's something to do with the Fortress of Solitude because there's snow all over the shield logo. So that's definitely implying some sort of connection to the Fortress of Solitude, which is great because
that one I saw, but then I just saw pictures of like a bunch of film equipment and everything.
Oh, really?
Like a bunch of snowy surfaces and stuff. Yeah.
Where is that at? Gun Fortress. All right, let's hold on one second. Auto completed. Let's see if I can find some pictures here. Oh, there it is. Ooh, Mikey, good call. Look at this. All right, here it is.
Good. Okay, good. I wasn't tripping.
No, they got big giant fans. It looks like ladders. Whatever these Best Boy grip stuff, whatever the fuck all that shit is. But yeah, it looks like they're in a very remote kind of like Upper Canada kind of place or something like that, where it's all just where the Fortress of Solitude would be.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. I love that it's not going to be all CGI too. That's fucking great. That's going to make a big difference if they're actually shooting on location in actual snow and stuff. I know there's going to be plenty of CGI. You have to for Superman, obviously, but pretty fucking cool, man. Good call, man. Thank you for the heads up on that. I appreciate it.
Oh, no doubt. Anytime I see that Superman stuff or anything like that, I think of you. But then I don't add it to nowhere or send it to you. I just think of you. I'm like, oh, that would be cool.
Oh, no, that's okay. My buddy, I got a dude that sends me all the Superman stuff. My buddy Craig, he is, it's funny because he's a super Batman freak and I'm a super Superman freak. So when we see things, like if I see a Batman story, If he sees Superman stories, he'll send them to me. And it's like the greatest, like what you just said right there, when you said, whenever I see Superman stuff, I think of you. That is the greatest thing anybody could ever say to me. Like, seriously, that makes me, like, anybody that associates Superman and me, not like I'm super or anything, but just that they know I like Superman that much, that they associate me with Superman, that's just so cool. Like, that makes me so happy because I fucking love Superman.
Oh, yeah, it's synonymous, man. I see Superman stories and I'm out of it. Oh, I should send this to Di. He's already seen it and read it twice.
Very true. I probably have seen it for sure, so... All right, my homeboy. I will talk to you soon, man.
I'm definitely looking forward to watching this because it's going to be on Netflix. There's definitely going to be a watch party.
Yeah, well, I have a wedding that night, but it's a weird wedding where the couple it's actually a little frustrating. The couple hired me, and then they decided they found out that one of their buddies, or they have two buddies that are dueling pianos, and so they hired me to DJ, and then we're like, hey, we actually don't need you to DJ anymore for the reception. Can you do just the ceremony and then do the photo booth? So, which is, you know, I mean, I can do that, but it kind of sucks because, you know, I lose out on cash from DJing or whatever, but, and like all those different services. So I'm wondering if maybe I do the ceremony and then I have somebody else run the photo booth so I can come home and maybe do a watch party for that, because that would be pretty cool. So
that'd be dope.
Yeah, that would be very, very good. So, all right, well, Mikey,
speaking of big fights, there's a big fight on tomorrow during the day.
What's that?
The Francis Ngannou Anthony Joshua fight tomorrow from Dubai.
Oh, really? That's tomorrow?
Yeah, the main card is 1 p.m. Eastern.
Ooh. Well, are you going to be watching it? Do you have a link?
I absolutely will be watching it.
All right. Now, that's one I think I want to watch, because I do like I love Ngannou. This Anthony Joshua guy is really stupid.
The guy's a physical specimen. I mean, the guy goes from being a slave and doing all kinds of shit to get his freedom and just become the biggest, baddest man in the world.
It's insane. He's a beast. And is this Anthony, whatever his name is? Does this guy even have? I mean, who has a chance against Ngannou at this point? Is it an MMA fight or a boxing match?
Boxing, because it's within a simple. It's within the boxing rule set. So anybody has a chance against him. They said it like during the press conference today, and Ngannou said, I just play with you guys in the boxing ring. On every day of the week, twice on Sundays, I'd kill you.
Yeah, that's funny. No, it's true. I don't think I've ever seen him fight an MMA fight. I think I saw him do the Tyson Fury fight, and that was it. Maybe I'll have to go watch a UFC. Was he like a champion? Was he the champ? He beat Stipe to become the champion, right?
His last fight, he became the UFC heavyweight champ, and then he left and vacated the title.
Did he beat Stipe to get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Stipe beat him once, though.
Now,
I'm pretty sure Stipe beat him. He was really young and fighting.
I heard Joe Rogan talk about that fight, and he said that Stipe was never the same after that, after the fight with Francis, and that's why Stipe's career hasn't been the same after that fight. What happened in that fight that could have possibly done that? Did he just blast his head so many times?
Dude, it was just a war. It's one of those ones. If you've got
that's exactly how Rogan described it. It was it was a war. But then he was saying the lasting effects.
It was just one of those once-in-a-lifetime fights. You just go back and these guys just pieced each other up. And just to watch 265-pound men just piece each other up and not really lose much gas and have it become this just fat slob wrestling around on the ground, because that's what most heavyweights get after round, round 3.
What do you think he meant when he said he was never the same again, though?
I just don't think he ever fought the same, had the same ferociousness. Everything became a little bit more defensive for Stipe after that. I think he just changed the way he fought a lot, because I don't think he ever ran into somebody with as much power and speed.
Fear crept in a little bit almost, or?
I don't know if it was fear or more self-preservation, knowing that you couldn't beat this guy the way that he's been able to so easily manhandle.
Right.
And to be manhandled by somebody else like that, as being a big man like Stipe was, I think it was just it changed the way he fought.
That makes sense. Okay. All right. I see what you're saying. Okay. Is Stipe retired now?
He should be, but I'm guessing they're going to try to run the Stipe Miocic John Jones fight back.
Is that what's going on with John Jones? He got hurt right a while back, and because he was supposed to be in a big fight.
Pectoral muscle right off the bone.
That's right. Okay. Now I also saw something
10 days out of the main fight that was supposed to happen.
I also saw something with Tyson Fury that him and Ngannou were supposed to fight again, and the winner of that.
They are going to fight again. Tyson Fury was supposed to fight Alexander Usyk 2 weeks ago, but the week of the fight, Tyson got a cut above his right eye that required stitches. So that pushed the fight out to I think June or July.
Right.
So after Tyson Fury beats up on Alexander Usyk, they'll probably run this Francis Ngannou fight back. It all depends on what happens with Francis and Anthony Joshua.
Now I saw something.
Joshua beats up Francis, I'm guessing that Tyson's going to want to fight Anthony Joshua.
I saw something about Ngannou fighting what's his name, Usyk, if if Tyson and Ngannou, if Ngannou beats Tyson, then the next fight will be, or I'm sorry, if Usyk, whatever his name is, beats Fury, and then Ngannou
then it would be
beats
Alexander
Fury.
Usyk against Francis Ngannou.
Right. So, what do you think that would be a better fight than Fury and Ngannou? Because that was kind of okay fight.
Fury's one of my favorite fighters to watch. The guy's technically probably the best heavyweight of all time. Definitely, he's not the best power striker, knockout artist, anything like that. But for like the actual the art of boxing and footwork and
pick you
defense
apart.
and just boxing in general, the guy is just his fight IQ is leaps and bounds.
Jab you to death.
Yeah.
So for sure, but he's 27 feet tall, so he should. So, all right. By the way,
and he also he didn't look that good against Ngannou when they fought him the first time. I don't think that he prepared much, and he expected a lot less from Francis. But I think he's got to step his game up a little bit because he could have lost that fight.
Speaking of tall people, B1 sent me a video today of. Hold on one second. Let me go to this post. You know, who'd you just mention that was tall? Did you say something about Shaq or somebody else that was really tall right there? I don't know what made this pop into my mind. Did you say something about somebody?
No, you mentioned how tall he was.
Oh, okay. So I mentioned how tall. That's right. So I mentioned how tall someone was, and it just made me think of this video.
Tyson Fury. You said he was 27 feet tall.
That's right. So it made me think of this. Right when I said that, it popped in my head. This video that B1 had sent me earlier. It's a video of Victor Wembanyama meeting Shaq and Charles Barkley, and he dwarfs Shaquille O'Neal. He's literally more than a head taller than Shaq.
Dude, have you watched any of the guy's basketball highlights and the guy can shoot threes?
He kills me in that NBA 2K24. He fucking beats the shit out. He works me. I'm 6'9", my character. So his 7 foot fucking 9 ass or whatever he is, just works me. How tall is that guy? 7'4", 7'3"? I don't even know.
He's
but
got to be 7'6".
It's crazy. It's great. Is it? I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see how tall he is. Victor Wembanyama.
I see somebody in the comments there, 7'4" at 100 pounds is wild.
So yeah. All right, 7'4" is how tall he is. That's fucking insane.
That's ridiculous.
I wonder what his wingspan is.
An African prospect that just signed his letter of content to go play for Duke next year, who's 7'3".
Oh wow. Okay, so, geez, really another one. So that'll be great to see those two battle.
Yeah.
Fucking, that'd be great. But he is 7
It's
foot.
gonna be all 7-footers in 5 years, dude. It's just gonna be it's gonna literally look like the movie Space Jam.
7 foot 3.5 inches barefoot with an 8-foot wingspan. 8 feet. That's so fucking crazy. Here's a picture of him with just his arms, him holding a basketball. I don't know if that's photoshopped or not, but that's absolutely fucking insane. Either way, look at that fucking dude. Wow, good for him, man. Tall ass motherfucker. So, all right, Mikey. I just realized how late it is, dude. So let's wrap this thing up like a dead fish, my bro.
All right, but I love you, kid.
Love you too, bro. Take it easy, man. Good to talk to you. Alrighty, guys. I think that is going to wrap that up for this evening. I hope you guys had a great evening, great night tonight. I had a lot of fun with you guys tonight, so I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves as well. I will try to figure out what we can do for that. I think it was July 20th is when that fight is on Netflix. I'll see what we can do about a possible watch party for that. That would be a lot of fun. I just got to see if maybe I can have somebody work the photo booth so I can have the night off. It just going to cost me some bucks if I do that. So, alrighty, guys. I think that's going to wrap things up for us tonight. If you've not already hit a thumbs up on tonight's video, I would greatly appreciate it if you did that. Thank you to everybody who hung out in the league tonight. Colt4T5 says, LOL, Muay Thai is the only martial art you've mentioned that would work in a fight. A guy that took Muay Thai for over 6 months would destroy any Wing Chun master. Oh, well, okay. Shows what I know. shows what I know about martial arts. I tell you what, but I know some TV kung fu. Fucking can't be touched. Stand up. You try to come up to me, you throw one of those, you throw a chop. No touchy. TV kung fu. Yeah, you know what? I love Wing Chun, but you know what? TV kung fu is where it's at. If you don't know TV kung fu, then you don't know nothing. Okay, that's all there is. You get fucked up. Come around me, you don't know no TV kung fu. You'd be done for. Alrighty, guys. That is going to wrap things up. Like I said, hit the thumbs up on tonight's video. Thank you to everybody who came and hang out, all the league members. I appreciate everybody who called in this evening. I appreciate everybody who put their comments in tonight. Very interactive this show this evening. Nothing makes me happier than when you guys are interactive, when you put in your comments about what we're talking about in the chat, when you put your phone calls in about what the things we're talking about. I really, truly enjoy that very much. It makes the show so much more fun for me. So I appreciate it very much when you guys all do that. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you. So, all right, I'll be back live tomorrow at 7. I don't think there's any. Let me think before I say that. I don't think there's any concerts tomorrow, anything like that. I think we're good to go. So yeah, I'll be aiming to be back live tomorrow at 7. But you know how it goes. So should something come up, if I have to work long, you guys know the drill here. Now moving forward, there might be days that we're off. So I aim to be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. But should life come up, I will have to, prioritize that. But otherwise, my goal is to be back here for you guys at 7 tomorrow evening. So having said that, I am out of here. See you.